afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to a wonderful 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma in the west. We got VonClausewitz fighting for the German army. The Wehrmacht, the 2nd Panzer Division, launching a counterattack to repulse the Americans under the command of the one, the only, it's Dave. The prodigal son has returned to Company Heroes 2 with the USF as always, though he does occasionally play Wehrmacht. Here with Airborne Company, Heavy Cavalry and Armour Company, Double Infantry Grenade versus Double Infantry and Panzerfaust with Elite Troops, Jaeger Infantry and Lightning War here for VonClausewitz. Dave fighting here for the 6th Armour Division. Setting off there, has not been playing the game for some time. Guessing personal issues, and that seems to be sort of what happens in case if Tommy just drops out of the game for whatever reasons, family, and, you know, pops back in. So, I don't know how long he's been playing. I think only recent, so probably has been away for at least half a year, if not a bit more, so he might be a bit rusty, but of course I have to see how he performs. By the way, it's exciting and a great thing to have Dave back, since I personally think Dave is one of the straight up best USF players, if not straight up one of the better players in the game in general. VonClausewitz though, with the Jaeger Infantry straight away, focusing here on upgrading his grenadiers and of course getting the Jaeger command squad out. Who knows, maybe some ambush training as well, which is a really good ability as well, but one that do feel like gets overlooked a bit still. G43s with grenadiers is usually a pretty good pick versus riflemen. Heading southwards there, aggressively, tank types going up to help defend the fuel point versus any crap encroachment. Barbed wire going up around the cover up, and we're going to probably push away those pioneers. And so far noting, by the way, no MG42s here from VonClausewitz, which depending on how Dave plays out as rifleman could give him an early upper hand here versus VonClausewitz, since he's going to lack any way to sort of really slow down the rifleman. Note the way he's just wiring off, even taking fires, but he's just looking to deny any cover here for Dave. So that way if he tries to push forward, see, it's going to become very easy for VonClausewitz to deal with him. In the south, this is where the main effort continues. Dave basically diverging away from the north, deciding he doesn't want to go there anyways. It's silly. And he's going to move towards the centre there with more riflemen arriving there as well. More barbed wire off, and you see the VonClausewitz being a very thorough with the barbed wire. Rifleman skirmishing about. No, he's not pumping into the church because, again, only one you'll be able to fire back. But there you go, punish from the church, get close to the rifleman, and then backed up by the grenadiers here at this. Going to be a close one here though. More riflemen arriving. That's going to pretty much end the game versus VonClausewitz in the early game. More on the way for Dave, anticipating an MG42 most likely, but of course also can be just used and supporting himself. Are more on the way for Dave. Grenadiers being attacked here in the south by the riflemen there. Dave keeping up pressure here versus VonClausewitz in the centre there. More pressure here. North is basically the only place where there's so far nothing really happening, except VonClausewitz is slowly grabbing some territory. More almost down there. 4th Grenadier squad about to be ready here for VonClausewitz and the 2nd Panzer Division. Mort out here for Dave and the 6th Armoured. Rifling up towards the centre victory point. Rearson's aggressively kicking indoors and doing some reconnaissance here for Dave to basically sort of tell him what he can expect around here. I imagine part of it's just to see if there's any MG42 about this. He doesn't run into it straight away, and of course still down there from VonClausewitz here, since he can't just ignore the Rearsons inside the house. Rifle continue to grab the point, hitting the car point as well. They're very aggressive play by Dave, very direct and focused play. Very nice to see here so far on the Rearson. So far, doing 2 kills there with M1 carbines on the Grenadiers. Outstanding work. Cut off point there, hits splendidly. Grenadiers continue to flank up behind Dave here. Rifleman retreating. I imagine there'll be soon some take up there for Dave, and there we go. We got the platoon command post going out. Well, of course, I would see how much Dave has sort of already managed to acclimatise himself with the new patch. I mean, he basically last time he played was, I think, roughly after the one where, you know, the Jackson all that got buffed. He hasn't been playing a lot after that. So, I mean, the tech revamp and the commander revamp is probably going to present a few challenges there for Dave. Reeves is about to get knocked out. Back here, troops reinforcing. Lieutenant almost down there for Dave. No sign of doctrine there for him. Though, personally, Dave at least was very fond of Airborne Company. Particularly the paratroopers was a unit Dave really liked. But of course he sticks about with that one. There might be some changes here. Moving up here again, aggressively trying to put pressure there on VonClausewitz, threaten the rear areas and not just the front line. Very good. Ambulance following up here for Dave. And we got the mortar in action. Lieutenant arrives. We'll obviously he's going to go for a fast 50 cal. This is going to be a platoon command upgrade with them Trenties and Stewarts, or what it will be for Dave here. Pioneers almost taken up by the mortar. Very nice work here. Rifle threatening the rear, and we could fact here wipe here on the Pioneers retreat, which would be pretty big there for Dave. Looks like he's not quite paying attention to the rifle, just firing at the Grenadiers here. Small missed opportunity, I would say, there for Dave, which will also, you know, wiped out the Pioneers, forcing VonClausewitz had to go for another one just to take up, which I think would have been quite helpful there for Dave. Grenadiers are being led out. So far we got a bit more harassment from the south here. Dave is a bit focused on centre north now, so there might be some good room there for VonClausewitz to pressure Dave. Quickly popping into the house here, but low on health already, and with a mortar theoretically within range, he could quickly find himself pushed out. And Dave, by the way, back to ration the fuel. Excellent stuff there. That's definitely something he has not forgotten in his absence from the game. Very nice to see that. Back at base, we got the weapon racks up there for Dave. Grenadiers versus Rifleman up north here, still on health. VonClausewitz pushing the lucky a bit here versus Dave, and there you go, retreating. And small chance of wipe here, but definitely there, depending a bit on how luck goes. Oh dear, that is very much starting to look like a wipe on this. Lady Luck really has a thing for VonClausewitz, and apparently she does. In fact, they might be dating. Probably not though. Anyways, Rifleman here versus Grenadiers. And the South Lieutenant Rearson's going in, out 2-2 almost done there for VonClausewitz. Still no machine gun there for him though. No sign of G43s either. There's a bit short ammunition, so that would explain it a bit. Flamethrowers up. But there you go, good harassment there by Dave. So far nothing there from the platoon command post, no sign of upgrades, no 50 calibers either. In the south, Grenadiers pushed back there, by the lieutenant backed up by the rear echelons. 2-2 moving in here for VonClausewitz and the 2nd Panzer Division moving forwards rapidly for the fatherland. Dave's rifle and they're forced to retreat in the face of such aggressive a German response. A rifleman routed as well, dispatched with violent haste, and Dave follows up with a 50 caliber machine gun, the Mardus. And we go, pushed away. In the south, we have some seizing points here. Over here, a bit of reinforcement. We got weapon racks up as well for Dave. BARs being handed out. BAR stand for Browning Automatic Rifle, and it was a World War I era weapon meant to support them while they're attacking, of course, no man's land, being able to fire from the hip in a sense, but was overall in the end just used like a light machine gun. Not as a particularly amazing at that, since it only had, I think, a small box magazine for that, but it still saw some usage there as a fun note. Of course, it doesn't mean it wasn't necessarily a bad machine, just a bit of a limit to it. I mean, the FT-42 was an impressive weapon, and that one was also fed by a small box magazine. And I don't think anyone's going to try and claim the FT-42 was terrible, so just a note there. But lots of bars out here for Dave, increasing the firepower rifleman notably. Jaeger command squad here for VonClausewitz would not be a bad idea here. Panzer Grenadiers, though, would also think be a strong addition, but the Jaeger command squad is a 5-man infantry squad with a lot of G43s, which of course would make that one quite potent in a lot of ways. So obviously not something that's going to be ignored. They note while he quickly retreats to just quickly get back to the headquarters and then move faster towards the front line. Alright, from there moving ahead here for Dave, keeping up pressure, keeping up aggression, not a dull moment here with Dave. And there you go, I think it's going to try and go for the wipe here again on the retreating Grenadiers. Can he land it this time, or apparently again VonClausewitz is something either going with the Lady Luck or the Devil. He's definitely much more lucky than me, which in most situations with lost the Grenadiers like that. At least that's my luck. Rifleman up Northfield, his pile needs to build up a slot more distance so he doesn't get hit by the flamethrower. To being pushed back slowly by the Rifleman with the BARs. Pioneers being pushed back. Down here we got troops. Well, not really happening anything. You got the ambulance there. Most of Dave's force on the front line. We do have Airborne here. No sign of Pathfinders yet. Of course, with Airborne, if you quickly pop in and enter tank when he needs to. We'll have to see how quickly it goes for some paratroopers, though. Admittedly, does have a lot of riflemen with bars, including the lieutenant, so there's not an immediate huge pressure for him to have to go for that. Still seizing a lot of ground here, getting control of the fuel points once more against VonClausewitz. You got the captain on the way here, an interesting choice there, though he could also get away, I think, with just, pushing for this one. Oh, he actually has to go to the captain there, otherwise he can't, because, well, it's either that or that one. Well, arguably, we just go for this, since that's cheaper. Oh, he cancels that, so he's going to go for it, realising, oh, hey, on, that's cheap, and I can just call in the anti-tank guns. Again, he's probably a bit rusty, but also very much unaccustomed to the new USF tech, so there's obviously going to be a few slip-ups here and there. Mistakes happen to all of us. It's usually what we do afterwards, so that counts. And in this regard, he just quickly goes, hang on, I can just go for the other thing and take up. with that instead. So he's probably going to be pushing out his Shermans as fast as aggressively possible here versus VonClausewitz. Sniper on the way for him. And the second Panzer Division here, Jaeger Command's got his rifleman. Could try and put some more pressure on the right or the south flank there, put more pressure on Dave's fuel. Jaeger Command's got that landing some hits on the rifleman, but they're slowly being played out. Sadly the cover isn't quite working out for them there. But at least he's getting some grenadiers upgraded with G43s. Sadly not much son of ambush training. We got the sniper out here for VonClausewitz. Pearson's holding up there. We got the Molotov running back up here for Dave. Quick bash on all these bunched up grenadiers. Very nice response here by Dave. First round lands in the cover, does some damage to the nearby units, but nothing critical. Second shot lands behind them. Up north here, fighting for the fuel point there as Dave once more leaps in. Grenadiers finally moving away from the cover as it is starting to slowly vanish. And the south bit of harassment here, skirmishing going on. 2-2 quickly shifts in there by VonClausewitz. And north, big swarm of grenadiers here. Rifle moving up here though, could deal with the advancing grenadiers here. But the rest of us to fall back in there. Go quick rifle grenade. Dave dodges it deftly. And there you go, take up done for Dave. Not far off from a Sherman. Meanwhile, VonClausewitz is struggling to get to his own next tier in the Sapoma Corps due to Dave's very consistent harassment. Again, comparatively lack of harassment from VonClausewitz on Dave's fuel. 50 caliber there, fighting up against the grenadiers backed up by riflemen. VonClausewitz securing the north here, though some of the grenadiers here are in a really bad state and probably should be retreated as soon as possible for some healing and reinforcement, more importantly. Sniper with 2 kills so far, slowing down Dave's advances by bleeding out his men. Back here, nothing further happening. Again, we're very close to the Sherman. He could try and push for the Scott, but Dave might just be thinking there's a possibility of his opponent, of course, getting tanked out soonish enough, in which case having the Sherman, of course, is going to be the better choice. And one hanging about there, Clausewitz here realizing he's going to get hit by tanks. He's going to need a pack. Oh, decides not to. Interesting choice. They does seem like the obvious one here. But guessing from VonClausewitz felt like that might be too premature and might just try and push in some other direction before going for the pack 40, I guess. Also smokes from the center. Very nice work there. In this case, prevents the sniper from shooting at his men as well. So that's a double win there. Victory points wise, Dave has a small leader from VonClausewitz. VonClausewitz is slowly pushing Dave back across the flanks, but at the center he is not making a ton of progress. Sniper there with 3 kills. Pearson's formed into a bazooka team to deal with any vehicles or tanks VonClausewitz has, and the 2-2 has very much bit the dust in that process. Sherman around there for Dave and the 6th Armoured Division, smoking off again on the center, though it doesn't seem to anyone able to take advantage of it. It might have been a slightly miscued order. Arriving in the northern victory point. Back here healing enforcement. Dave's men have certainly taken quite a thrashing at the hands of the Nazis. And there you go, VonClausewitz goes back to the Pack 40, realizing he can't push out a tank fast enough to, leave himself not utterly exposed to a possible tank. Which, of course, is a really good thing he did that, because he's about to get hit by a tank. So in the end, VonClausewitz then made the right decision. Smokescreen again. Note again, this pretty much prevents the sniper from covering up machine guns from coming in theory with. Going, of course, force him in within the range of the rifleman. So, really nice use of their smoke by Dave. Absolutely beautiful and tactical stuff there. I mean, for now, for the most part, you wouldn't really think he was a guy who hadn't been playing this game for, quite some time. But it seems like Dave is just back in and swinging like he never stopped playing. Yeah, come out, good pursuit, have a rifle, quickly wiping on them. They are already dropping very fast there in terms of health and members. In the south, going to disadvantage, they might be able to find a threat in Dave's fuel point. They can push here with Lieutenant and the rifleman backed up with Pearson. Sherman also moving in here. Do we see high close around here for the Sherman? We do, and we've got the 50 caliber added on top as well. A few moments, turning this into a lean, mean infantry murdering machine, and once more VonClausewitz going to be his escape. Dave and his immaculate wrath. But he's about to lose the northern fuel point again. Dave, in most American fashion, always goes for the resources, the fuel, the oil. Up north here, right from there, pushed back by the sniper, but the sniper's also forced to retreat. Here's Dave's assault. Oh, continues onwards there. Furiously so. Dave allows nothing to stop him in the name of democracy. But in the south, though, VonClausewitz is taking advantage of Dave's high focus in the north to sweep up everything there. Not quite threatening the fuel point yet, but he might be able to get this soon enough. So Paul McCoy is up. Far Stug might be the best idea. Then again, a Panzer IV could also work out. We'll have to see what VonClausewitz ends up with. Once the Paul McCoy is finished, that is. Dave, meanwhile, is not far off from another tank. Sherman everything repairs back in the base. Takes it a very safe distance away from the front line just to ensure no shenanigans happen. That VonClausewitz doesn't appear out of the shadow and just begins shooting at it. Sturmgeschützträger Ausführung on the way there for VonClausewitz. Very good, but he does remain on the defensive as Dave for the most part. Dave keeping up relentless aggression and pressure. Well, again, forgetting about the south has been to very much to the advantage of VonClausewitz. Sherman arrives, shoots, blows apart some shrubberies, but sadly no Germans. Of North Pioneers moving in, we got the rifle falling back there, 50 couple coming on the point. Stug almost down there for VonClausewitz. Almost. And the South Lieutenant advancing, I'm just coming up the centre here. And there goes Stug 3G ready for VonClausewitz and the 2nd Panzerdivision. Mortar firing down the Grenadiers in the centre, not moving up here to back up further. Regional force on the north is screening off there as he pushes slowly ahead. Grenadiers obviously tight there, good right now with the pack forward in the Sherman. Stug moving in as well there. Sherman dodges it. Lucky one there for David. The pack foot lands another sterling hit there on the Sherman. Pack push back. Stug also repositioning, adding a Pinelman machine gun to help the infantry. Is not a bad idea there for VonClausewitz at all. Victory points wise. Dave still changed the lead here from VonClausewitz. Lieutenant slow being bled out by the Grenadiers closing in on the 8th level up north. VonClausewitz leads for the German army. Stug moving back forwards. And 2nd Sherman all the way there for Dave. Lieutenant down south is about to get shot to bits. Pioneers push back. VonClausewitz doing what he can to try and sort of stall the victory point. Believe here that Dave has got going against him. But Dave's fuel harassment has been very solid here so far. I mean, it's allowed him to get out 2 Shermans when his opponent can only get out 1 Stug. That is a very big difference. That is some really solid play there by Dave. So there we go, 2nd Sherman out. Still got 1 flying high explosive rounds. The other one, though, well, you might want to switch them to armour piercing rounds. So he's got the Stug going in there. The Suka fire on it. Entertainer setting up. Sherman going in for the Grenadiers in the south. Quickly rallying in there. VonClausewitz stands no chance. Others hiding behind the corner here, behind a tree. Getting the rifle right away. You got the Sherman moving up here. 1 kill still, though. And we go VonClausewitz abandons the south here to the American army, leaving them to deal with that one for now. Up north, Grenadiers here, though, gets a wipe. Taking out one of Dave's rifle squads. That is a bit of a loss here for Dave in the early game. Might have overextended there, gone a bit too overconfident. VonClausewitz saw a chance and actually landed a wipe. So, reasonable work there by VonClausewitz. Got the Sherman moving ahead. No 50 cal being added on that Sherman here for Dave. At least not as of yet. There's some 50 cal to tank moving ahead. Looks like Dave's got an assault planned. Other Sherman is hanging. Oh, there we go, moving in as well. Still flying high to the rounds. There goes pushing it with 2 Shermans rolling in here. Very aggressive push there by Dave against VonClausewitz. 2 going up. They're getting a hit there on one of the Shermans. Pack takes a hit from the high explosive round. Probably storming up. We got the rifle and the reasons with the anti-tank moving in after. We got artillery strike called in and trying to take out Dave's support weapons. Going to be forced to retreat right through it. And there we go. Pack crew dead. Stug moving ahead here though, directly on the Sherman. Rifling up, might be able to get off an anti-tank. Rifle grenade though, tries to destroy the anti-tank, but there you go. Other anti-tank gun opening up here on the Stug, down to half health. Rifle squad number 2 down, and there you go. The Stug is utterly kaput. But still, rather costly assault there for Dave. Truth be told, losing a lot of infantry all of a sudden. And this rate, he might even lose the Sherman here, which would be a double blow there to him. But there you go. Gain Veterans 1, didn't quite wipe the Grenadiers. Any Telemites in the way here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, he's going to get out soon with another Panzerfaust, and there's Dave gets lucky enough. Other Sherman falling back here. Oh, he stops up, he's not paying attention. He's going to get Panzerfausted. Oh, and the shot missed. Grenadiers wiped the loose of the Sherman nonetheless. That was a quite expensive assault there for Dave. On the other hand, VonClausewitz has also suffered quite gravely. I mean, both have taken some severe losses. And of course, VonClausewitz is left without any tanks at all, though he's quick to get the Panzerfaust once he can. Still, I do think some of these casualties could have been avoided there for Dave. A few more smoke screens before putting in either the Shermans or the mortar there, I think would have done Dave a bit of good here versus VonClausewitz. But otherwise, you know, reasonably good work there and some nice manoeuvring. Got paratroops arriving there. We'll have to see if it's going to be Thompsons or the Browning light machine guns. Both have their merits. David, though, is a big fan of the Thompson and tactical assault. Which is another reason I do like Davey. He makes use of such abilities like tactical assault, which is what most players never do. Gunneys pushing through the smoke, and they're actually laid down by Dave. Probably not what Dave intended. There we go. They're going for the sniper, routing here from Clausewitz's man, who immediately pulls back. Panther 4, they're finally riding for VonClausewitz, and the second Panzerdivision bringing up its armoured levels a bit more notably. In the centre, Sherman here dealing with the Jaeger command squad there, closing in Veteran 2. It's also these finally gotten one wipe then from Clausewitz's Grenadiers, though of course Dave is still a bit more shorter there. Thompson's almost done. Second shot on the way there for Dave again. There you go, Thompsons are ready to mow down some Nazis. So now we've got close with the Grenadiers. Thompson's doing heavy damage to the Grenadiers, who do not stand much of a chance. In fact, they probably should be retreating soon before the Thompsons just end them. North got the Panther going for the mortar crew. Second Sherman there, slowly halfway down there for Dave, and the second 6th Armored Division, 2nd Panzer Division on the falling back here. Pinmap machine about to get added to the Panther 4. Pack 40 sending up more Grenadiers here from Clausewitz. No Panzer Grenadiers, unfortunately. I do think you should go for some, but that's just me. And the second Sherman is almost done. We got Pathfinders as well here for Dave. Very interesting. Certainly making use of several things of the doctrine now. VonClausewitz has used Jaeger Infantry, the Jaeger Command Squad, well, the upgrade, the Jaeger Command Squad and the artillery. So, which is also pretty good there. No sign of the ambush training though, which is still, I think, a pretty good ability. Heavy fire on the Jaeger Command Squad in the centre, as VonClausewitz rather single-handedly sends them in here to take on Dave and his entire force in the south there. Panzer 4 waiting out for something. Pinmap machine ready for that one, and there we go. Dave's first Sherman links up with the other one. Rifle Lieutenant moving through the centre here. Clausewitz sniper falls back as Dave pushes got the Sherman up, engaging flanks here. We got the Panther still not moving from the centre, and the tanker moving up. A rifle doing to push here. They almost got the sniper, sadly not quite. They need to retreat the rifle here before they get wiped. Would be a bit of a costly loss there for Dave at this stage, considering all the infantry's already lost compared to how much is killed, which isn't nearly as much. Pioneers are being routed, mortar fire going down. South is being lost alongside the north. Dave does seem to unfortunately focus a bit too much in the centre here. That might be the rush there causing him to do that. In that regard, in-game endurance can actually be quite important. Back here, the healing reinforcement going for Dave, and to tank gets Sniper Jaeger Command Squad moving ahead, and the South Panther 4 finally gets away. Ready to join in the fighting elsewhere, like say around where the other tanks are. In the south, where we got a big push here from Dave with the paratroopers and the Sherman here. Went for the tactical assault. So close to getting another wipe there, but once more, luck seems to hold her hand. VonClausewitz. Sturmgeschütz on the way there for VonClausewitz, and the second Panzerdivision to up deal with all those tanks with some nice rate of fire. Sensibly enough. Grabbing the centre point. Up north we got the lieutenant and the rifleman in there. Anti-tank and close to veterans 1. Stug almost done. Sherman being repaired here. Almost ready for Dave and the 2nd of the 6th Armoured. Got the Panther moving northwards though, noting no infantry support, so theoretically a bit risky here for VonClausewitz. In case Dave is ready for such a move, though he isn't. More often moving in, the victory point north's not long got being seized, he's still got a lead, but it's that's very, very tiny lead right now from VonClausewitz, just 337 versus 332. Smokes on the centre again, Perich using this to try and flank behind and counting more grenadiers, he quickly pops back in. Teleman's being laid down here to VonClausewitz to help steal with any of Dave's armoured assault. There you go, grenades moving straight up into the line of fire of the Perich with grenade off as well here. Grenades taking losses, there we go, almost got a wipe here. Grenadiers there. Ooh, close one there for the paratroopers. Almost got both squads, but didn't quite work out there for Dave. At least the paratroopers didn't get wiped. Heading the field point again. Should be paying attention and realise there's another Stug out. Troops in the centre there being pushed back. The Shermans are just threatening to obliterate any infantry squad about. And we got another smoke screen from Dave. He is super consistent about these smoke screens. That is outstanding work, and again, not something you'd expect to see from a player, at least most average players who's been gone for some time, but nonetheless, Dave is not your average player, and so not your average USF player, so very nice to see that. Again, obfuscates the line of fire of the sniper, making it harder for VonClausewitz to get any good value out of him versus Dave, which of course is very solid. Gonna be standing out in the south. Sending in the Shrimps towards the south. We've got 7 kills, we've got 3 kills. Grenadiers being rounded here. We'll have to see what VonClausewitz does next. He is a bit short on resources. Dave still has to lead there. He's been again able to consistently harass and cut off VonClausewitz fuel. So Dave has the potential to just bring in more Shermans now, just starting to try and steamroll VonClausewitz. You could also commit to Scots or, say, Jacksons, but I honestly think that Dave going for more Shermans being to try and steamroll VonClausewitz here would be the best move. Big push here though, 5th Cavalry being overwhelmed in a matter of moments. Got Tilly Corden as well to deal with the anti-tank gun. VonClausewitz going for an aggressive push. 5th Cavalry crew down. Stug takes a hit down the Sherman. Nice push there by VonClausewitz, routing Dave's central forces. As VonClausewitz continues the attack here. Seizing the 50 caliber, prying it out of the cold dead hands there of the 50 caliber crew. Very nice work there by VonClausewitz. Dave on the defensive, a bit shocked. Perich now trying to take advantage of the smoke in there to push it. There we go, catching the Pack 40 crew, could cut it down in a matter of seconds. Slaughtering the anti-tank gun. He's got the Sherman heading straight for the Panther 4 section, moving up as well there. Stug trying to move in underneath the cavalry, got the anti-tank gun there, carrying the flank. We've got to take aim here. Shermans take out the Panther 4, a staggering blow to VonClausewitz. Sherman's going here for the Stug as well. Oh, there we go, we got a Telemine, and the Sherman is down. Absolutely wondrous mine there for VonClausewitz. Dave's second Sherman is still about. He's still lost the anti-tank and the Panther 4, so it's obviously not fully great here for VonClausewitz either, but at least he took out 1 Sherman, which is, you know, better than taking out none. And tank and they're destroyed. Dave does not want anything to do with such a Nazi weapon. Up north, fronting against the Grenadiers here on the field point. He might not immediately rush for it. They're replacing the lost 50 caliber crew here. Victory points once he's back to bleeding out for VonClausewitz, and there go roughing over against the rifleman. David though dodges that one. So we'll have to see what happens next. Here we got another smoke screen towards the centre. Paratroopers just using that one to try and draw in the gems and then cut them down. Sniper there at work. 17 kills. Stuk setting out again. Will VonClausewitz go for another Stuk. Now it's going to go for Panzer Force. Up to see, and there you go. Machine gun opening up here. And there you go. Smoke screen again. He's just laying down a consistent smoke screen around the center victory point, making hard that VonClausewitz to push and cover it at the same time. And essentially forcing him. He wants to grab the point. He has to gut in close there versus the paratrooper and get gutted. So that's definitely very sneaky there by Dave. Very sneaky. Claudius committing to another Panzer on the south. Sherman Jackson moving about here. Forming up a dynamic duo that can deal with the most of what Claudius throws at him as long as it's just piecemeal. And there you go, in the south Condi's routed, fighting for the northern victory point here. Well, fighting and fighting, it's more just the Germans are grabbing it with no Americans about to guard it. Mines being laid down here. Obviously the first mine had quite a nice impact there on Dave, so more mines of course would not be a bad idea. Grenades only for Dave. Good choice here. Most of his troops are fully upgraded, so adding grenades to the mix is going to make them even more lethal. So we'll have to see where that works out. Bit of quiet here between the two. Dave could consider some fighting positions or some mines of his own. Those would say are a bit lagging here from Dave. Fifth gun, the southern point could be actually very strong, and there is some light anti-tank mines around the centre, which would push VonClausewitz a bit back closer to space. He can't see the mines being laid down. But Telemine down there. And VonClausewitz and the 2nd Panzer Division launches an assault here to retake the southern victory point, to rout the Yankee scum. And there he goes, successfully does it. In the north, bit of skirmishing here between the Sherman and the Jaeger command squad, pushing that one back. Push for the centre here. We got reassurance, Pathfinders, Riflemen, 5th Calibers, and the Paratroopers Plus, and the tank. And see as Dave lays down another smoke screen. So there you go, big push. 5th Calibers already positioned, catching this in a very nice manner. We got grenades off. We need to deal with that one. There you go, Paratroopers take advantage of this. 5th Cavalry in the north to flank it, and there you go, hitting with a grenade. There you go, Jack's moving in as well. He could take out the machine gun crew, and oh, he's gonna get it. Nice work there. Gonna need his lone health as well here. This is not a good engagement there for VonClausewitz. And the Sherman hits the Telemine. Stu, those too far removed tech to assist and deal with it. For that matter, so is the Panzer IV, so Dave should have a decent chance of getting it back unless VonClausewitz starts to try and go for it anyways. And there goes Sherman down. Oh, he got the Panzer IV down to help alongside the Jackson. Stu moving in though. Not able to get it. Unit taken out here. Dave is shot. One rifle squad again. And the Sherman is down. Notable armoured loss here for Dave. A small victory for VonClausewitz. Nice work there. But he loses another unit himself in the process. And once more, Dave has managed to cut off VonClausewitz fuel flow. But finally, after so long a time, VonClausewitz finally hits Dave's fuel. Took him long enough. Another Sherman for Dave, another Sherman for the 6th Armoured. Sniping in the centre victory point in the south, we got Cornelius as a Lieutenant. Lieutenant should have the best chance here thanks to the Thompson and all the bars he's been equipped with. Well, this pan he's only got one bar. Would have figured he'd get the double bars, but I guess Dave's still a bit of a conservative there. We're claiming the southern victory point, Sherman on the way. Bit of harassment up north here, 308 versus 224. Dave's back in the south there with a more definite victory point lead.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
And another Sherman. So many Shermans out of here for Dave. Regular barrels around the centre this time, no smoke from Dave. Though that can always happen.
Points are down to 300.
We'll mortify down, Panzer IV hanging back. Bit of quiet here between the two. VonClausewitz looks like he's trying to make a force build up there before making a push against Dave. Though of course he has to be careful about not stalling for this too long, otherwise he does risk getting crushed by Dave in terms of victory point. But on the other hand, I can understand that VonClausewitz might not be feeling he should just, you know, recklessly push everything he can against Dave and maybe lose it. When he could maybe try and stall and sort of set up for a big attack. But it's risky, it is risky though, and that should I think be kept in mind. Rather than there being pushed back.
We're losing a capture point.
More smoke off here from Dave. Panzer IV setting out, Stuk hanging back. And we got another Panzer IV there for VonClausewitz and the 2nd Panzers.
That's it, fellas. Knock their fucking block off. Germans
There we go, Panzer IV move, quickly catches Lieutenant and the Aviations in a slightly awkward spot with the heavy cover of the ship. It's difficult for the Panzer IV to dislodge, which is exactly what David is banking on. We do see VonClausewitz is forced to retreat in the centre. Committees moving up. We've still got Mortar nearby though, and again another smoke screen. Show moving up, quickly pushing back the Grenadiers, keeping the victory point secured and out of the hands of the German army. Mortar as well for VonClausewitz, probably to, well, aid, provide artillery support, maybe even provide smoke support here versus Dave. I mean, realised that, hey, smoke is actually pretty good. At least that's the potential line of thought there from him. Sadly, I can't read his mind. A part of me thinks, fortunately, I can't read his mind, but either way. With no mind-reading powers, it's a bit difficult to say exactly what VonClausewitz is thinking. Rather than pushing it for the northern point, we've got the 8 command squad. There we go, we've got the grenade off, allowing the riflemen to close in. Nice attempt there, and overall the command squad is being overwhelmed here by the ace rifleman with the bars. 175 versus 298. Another smoke screen. He is absolutely thorough with this stuff. And we got another Patriot on there for Dave. Could be another set of Thompsons, or it could be some Browning light machine guns this time around. There you go, Centre Victor on the hit. We got the Patriots already moving in to put them 5 feet below. And another smoke screen, like clockwork there from Dave. He just keeps popping that smoke. He keeps trying to deny that sniper any sort of clear line to fight anything for that matter on the Centre Victory point. That is very much commendable in his own right. Bit of reposition in the south here, 50 caliber, and the Lieutenant moving in. Got the Jackson hanging in reserve while the 2 Shermans, or the Sherman is elsewhere, the other one is still dead. We should be able to replace the 2nd Sherman. Just more smoke, casually and calmly dropping on the Centre Victory point. Not too shabby. 125 versus Dave 298. Dave's definitely got a very big lead over his opponent at the moment. Patriots there, it's still not upgraded. But they're adding the Browning light machine gun for some longer range firepower and of course suppressive fire. Or covering fire, whatever they call it. This version of it. Moving in north here, Mark 1X in fact flanked from VonClausewitz forces. Can't quite seem to catch up. And grenade off here on the mortar. There you go, almost took it out. Light machine it up, and there's in fact called suppressive fire. Mortar crew down, bit of loss here from VonClausewitz. In particular, if Dave connected season and turned against VonClausewitz, that would be rather uncomfortable for VonClausewitz. There's so far no signs of that happening. Dave floating a bit of manpower, but then again he's almost a full pop cap as well, so it's a bit difficult to see what he should be going for. And there you go, grenade off. Again, finding position still I think would be a good choice here. Smoke screen down again. Communities need to take advantage of Dave's smoke this time being a bit too close to the victory point, so he can actually stand in the smoke and seize the point more easily. Slight miss up there by Dave, but nothing huge. Got those paratroopers winging. There goes smoke screen again. Panther 4 trying to attack ground. There's something there goes someone joining, but they're hitting other things more easily. 106 versus 298. I'm seeing a paratrooper back for repair. Oh, reinforcement there. Go tactical assault. Jaeger command squad being shredded. Panther 4 moving ahead here through the smoke. We got air support calling in as well. He disrupting Dave's center defenses. Sherman taking hits. Jackson falling back. Sherman falling back. Anti-tank too slow. Bazooka fire there hits the lead. Strom gets shots. And there you go. Sherman about to go down here, either from the air support or the Panzer 4 combo. Jackson for some reason is not shooting. Apparently can't see him. There goes shoots right in the Panther 4. Very nice. Sherman about to go down. Main gun is kaput. Getting stuck here. There goes Stug down. Panther 4s get one of the Shermans. A brutal assault here by VonClausewitz. Ambulance could be an easy target here for VonClausewitz. Retreats as well. There goes shot 5, but misses the vehicle. And there goes down to just one Panther 4's assault has extended, and with no real infantry follow-up, at least not immediate. Rather sort of struggles to make any sort of long-term impact. I think then Dave is quick to rout him. Both sides down to just one armoured fighting vehicle, with Clausewitz as being a tank and Dave being a tank destroyer. Jackson moving ahead here, another shot away for Dave. Sherman there being flanked by the Panther 4. There goes Jackson lands an excellent hit on the Panther 4 there, piercing the armour.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
Another Panther 4 from Clausewitz. Well, the echelons.
Our supply line's cut. Germans are making a push.
More Panzer forces from Clausewitz and the 2nd Panzerdivision. Got the Wilsons arriving from the south to back things up there in the south. 5th Cavalry outflanked by the command squad and are easily pushed back home. Nice work there by VonClausewitz versus Dave. He's the rather short victory point, still 102 versus 281. Bit of a potentially desperate situation there for VonClausewitz if he's not careful. Fresh push for the north here by Dave, focusing the victory points once more. Sherman ready to once more rip up some Germans. Sniping through the centre, we got the smoke down, we got the sniper this time on the other side. The smoke there beginning to open up on the mortar crew. Nice work there by him. And the south of Sherman, they quickly push about the Jaeger command squad, quickly taking out 2/5 of the number. The north, we got the Bazooka team here covering up the retreat of the paratroopers as VonClausewitz quick to move troops to back up the Panzer 4. Very nice. In the centre, a bit more of a standoff here. The one, it seems that VonClausewitz is losing as he cannot resist the main push here from Dave. So we got 95 versus 275 left. Almost got that southern victory point, almost got the centre one. Northern one, those a bit beyond his reach at the moment. They're not too far either, that it is impossible. Smokescreen again. Incredibly consistent smokescreens here from Dave. Absolutely amazingly consistent. Can't fault him for that. You could argue at least that maybe should be using the smoke and other things as well, rather than just coming out the centre victory point, which is where it seems like most of Dave's smoke goes. It's just towards the centre victory point. There you go, Sherman lands a very nice hit, almost wiping out one of VonClausewitz grenadiers up north though. Seeming a bit of harassment here, and not much else. Close to victory 2 on those paratroopers in the south, bit of a standoff here as well. VonClausewitz can go for more Stugs. Now he could also just go for Panzer 4s, truth be told. So we'll have to see what ends up with it between VonClausewitz and Dave. And we're gonna light artillery barrage off here from VonClausewitz against some of Dave's positions. Sniper routed once more. Another push for the south here. This time the Panther backed up at the air command. What some grenadiers on the wing there are making their way towards it. 90 points versus Dave 1024. Another showing away there for Dave. VonClausewitz still not showing any indication of what he's planning next.
Capture point is under attack.
They could still go easily for another Panther 4. Could begin pushing for Stoops, and meanwhile Dave is just going to hit him with as many tanks as possible, I imagine. Mortar crew there routed. Got the Jackson joining in the front half lead eventually to the against VonClausewitz. In the south, Dave is making good progress well with the Sherman. Overall, lots of action south to centre axis. Looks like he got something right there. That would be a small win there for VonClausewitz if he did. And the Jaeger command squad is routed. Still not on a funny position to mind here from Dave. I do feel like that's a bit of an oversight. Shoot for VonClausewitz. Another Sturmgeschütz. Die. Ausführung. Early models, since they're technically sort of in overall terms of like versions of it, there's sort of two primary ones. There's an early model and there's a late model. Late model had improved gun mantle with more rounded bits there, so shots were likely to deflect. It also more commonly had a coaxial machine gun, and also had a more likely at least to have a remote control machine gun on top, a bit similar to the Hetzer. So a few fun facts there about Stu 3Gs. Another fun fact is that a common modification there was the application of concrete to the front, in particular around the driver's seat there, or driver's spot on the Sturmgeschütz to help protect him against fire. So usually there'd be sort of a slab of concrete around here, though theoretically they could probably try and add more if they felt bold enough. And was in that sense one of the more common modifications that are made to tanks with the jumps to increase the armor, at least the protection. Another common one was besides the armored side skirts, was primarily they help to deal with that anti-tank armor, but also help a bit with other things. There was just applying treads, spare treads for example, is not something they usually carried, so they'd have like apply them elsewhere. Wooden logs would be another, and so on. So little fun fact there. Some tanks also just welded spare metal or whatever they could to scrap armor on the top of the tank. Falcon header tank far from the Panther 4. Could go for another Stug if he wanted to. He's got the resources. The Jaeger command squad there being hammered by the Sherman in the south. You got 82 versus 261 here though for Dave. Stug in pursuit of the Sherman, need to be careful that the Stugs would be able to mistake there by VonClausewitz who was able to lose them. We really should be going for more Stugs. There we go, pushing for the Sherman. Sherman rolling back here. Staying a bit quiet. We've got the Jackson running in. Stug, Panther Force rolling back. 82 versus 261. And there we go, another Sturmgeschütz for VonClausewitz. Seizing the northern parts again. Got the Sherman to the Jackson in a few re-echelons, but a bit lacking in infantry support. Also noting he lost his paratrooper, submachine gun paratroopers at some point. Even just with the LMG paratroopers. Grabbing the northern point, Sherman falling back. Lieutenant push back here with the Panther Force. Bazooka team, they're ready behind the small wooden fence. The ultimate defense against sheep, not so much against tanks. And we go, another Stug out here, so we'll have to see what VonClausewitz does next. He's a bit on the defensive once more, down to 80 points versus Dave 261. I mean, roughly in terms of force size, they're the same. Love to see how this is going to evolve. David could soon go for another Jackson, another Sherman.
They have only 75 points remaining.
You could also just go for a bunch of anti-tank guns. Recruit the ones he's got at the 50 caliber. That would also help there versus VonClausewitz returning armored assaults. Another option would actually be considering its back taking for the captain and the company post they upgrade. So you need to go for an anti-aircraft type to help deal with the Stukas. That wouldn't be a half-bet choice there for Dave Others. It's really good to shoot them down, but there you go. Stug, Panther Force in the southwest there. Sherman's rolling back, Jackson nearby as well. What is going to be? Panther Force setting in here.
Capture point is being overrun.
Sherman hunting about in the south. They're trying to perhaps take advantage of anyone trying to push through here. And there you go, flanking the Stu. Very nice work there. Jackson from the H-Rep rounds for increased penetration and accuracy. Sherman's going for it. We got air support in there, and they're both Panzer Force, by the way, are going straight for the Jackson, using the Stoops almost as bait here. And there you go, air support called in on the Sherman, doing some heavy damage. So one Sherman almost down, could be one of the Stoops. And the Jacksons are down. Panzer Force getting into an absolutely outstanding armoured assault here by VonClausewitz, completely blindsiding Dave there, as he basically split them into two forces, attack from different angles. In fact, he used the Stoops as bait, it almost seemed like, to then rush in the Panzer Force after the Jackson. Absolutely outstanding manoeuvre there from VonClausewitz. At this stage, it rather looks like VonClausewitz a bit of time in a rough spot, has turned the game entirely. Dave's forces are being split apart and destroyed in detail here by VonClausewitz and the 2nd Panzer Sherman. We got the Panzer IV there flanking the Sherman as it backs towards it. The Zuka team nearby. Panzer IV taking heavy damage. Shoots, misses the Sherman still. Dave is in a rough spot. Ambulance, by the way, is destroyed as well. Going up, sees the the calf on there. Sherman going in there. Short one Stoop, which is unfortunate. Ooh, both tanks miss each other again. Some of these moving up trying to Panzerfaust, and they get Dave's most veteran Sherman crew, and there you go, the almost one is taken out by the Stug. Heavy blows there to Dave, and that rather looks like VonClausewitz might have won this, though rather narrowly. This is honestly, I think Dave would have been helped by laying down some light anti-tank mines earlier. That would for some help trip up any assault there, but VonClausewitz through the main road. But either way, really nice fight here with a lot of manoeuvre, a lot of engagements, a lot of flanking, a lot of harassment, fuel control and whatnot, some good use of doctrinal sides there, I think, for both sides. In the end, I think, had Dave maybe tried to set up for this one, he might be able to have a bit of a chance. Or I think, had he committed some more tanks when he had the option as well, I think, you know, 3rd Sherman or 2nd Jackson would also help a bunch in this engagement still. Really exciting stuff. Then great to see Dave back. He's clearly a bit rusty, but even then, for a player who hasn't been around for some time, he's clearly, you know, still doing really well, and I think really, you know, put the pressure then from VonClausewitz, and VonClausewitz several times was really close to losing there. So I think had Dave been a bit sharper, that would have been a much, I think, nastier loss there from VonClausewitz. It was a very close win there, partly again thanks to using the Stuga's bait, forcing Dave to focus on them, and then pushing the Panzer IV straight for the main road to go for the Jackson. That was a really nice maneuver there. So overall, hope you enjoyed this match, hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, share it with your friends, your family, but not your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Every dollar helps me, you know, keep making these videos day after day. So if you do like what I do, you can donate there. Links in the video description, of course. I'm off for now, but I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting video. So cheers, everybody, and hope to see you all there. Bye.